What are women leaders in the second half of their careers asking about most? That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Women Leaders on the Move, a Her C-Suite radio podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Benamou, and every week I learn right alongside you, whether I'm doing a solo episode like today or I am interviewing amazing women who share their expertise. I am right along with you, discovering all the ways that we can build what's next. I'm also the founder of Her C-Suite, a portfolio career network. I get to learn firsthand what women are asking in our community and also on LinkedIn. Today, we're going to be looking at all the ways that women are exploring portfolio careers and your top 5 questions. Let's dive in now. One of the things that I think about a lot as I work with women in the second half of their careers is how do you create a portfolio career and life that is uniquely fitting you? It's not one way, one linear path anymore. And that's what women in the second half are really discovering is you don't have to do what you've been doing the same way going forward. I love the Marshall Goldsmith, "What got us here won't take us there" quote, because that is true now more than ever in an era of AI. And I started researching what are women asking about when it comes to portfolio careers, boards, entrepreneurship, and all the areas that we touch on to help women live their best lives. And here's what I found. A lot of times it's hard to know the next step. It's hard to decide which thing that you should focus on. And if you're like me and you like multi hyphenate ideas, it can be super challenging to figure out the first thing to focus on. I want to assure you that whichever step you're taking is the right one for you. And guess what? If it turns out that that path that you started on isn't really fitting you, you have the power to choose. You can decide to make a pivot midstream. And in fact, a lot of people do. And what used to feel like, oh, I can't change my mind, I have to stick it out, is no longer true. So I'm going to start with the things that I'm seeing and hearing from women. And let's demystify the path that you are thinking about and get you on the right path for you. The number one thing that hits all of us is, am I qualified? Where can my experience create value now? And where are some additional areas for revenue streams that will help me make an impact? When you think about if you're qualified, first of all, if you're listening to the show, you are because you're already a curious learner and you are a leader. Women are leaders in their personal lives as well as work. And we sometimes overlook that and dismiss it. And so, first of all, you are qualified to do the thing that you want to do. I want to reassure you that. The next thing is, how do you take your expertise and apply it with value? And one of the things that I love about doing the work in board service is that it truly is this opportunity to take that expertise and share it and solve problems for organizations. Serving on a board is the highest position in a company, and it's the way that you can really make a difference. And as you start exploring what does next look like for you, a portfolio career expands when you are really open to what you can do next. And also, don't limit yourself by thinking that what you've done doesn't lead forward to what you want to do. I also want to encourage you to think a little bit sideways and vertical versus staying in a vertical. What I want to encourage you to do is you don't have to stay in the lane that you've been in to share your expertise and add value. That's one of the things that I've learned through working with my partner, Naomi Kent. I really think that we tend to shut a door before it needs to be closed. And this is one way that you can keep the door and opportunities open ajar when you realize that the expertise that you lend, for example, human capital, but you've always been in the finance industry, it doesn't mean that you can't lend that expertise in another highly regulated industry. A lot of times, when people are thinking about what they're going to be building next, they wonder, how do they position themselves? If it's a board seat, how am I going to stand out? What do I say? How do I communicate what I should be explaining and sharing and what I shouldn't? One of the biggest things that we see that holds people up is they tend to send out their information too early, send out a board bio or send their career resume before even having a conversation. I want to encourage you to hit the pause button on sharing and get curious and find out about the other person first. Almost all board roles, unless you are in the C suite and being pursued by a recruiter, come from people you know. The best thing you can do is connect with them. And where do people go to see about you? Well, they're going to LinkedIn. They are looking at you. Are you posting? What are you saying? How are you visible as a thought leader? Are you active? Are you curious? Are you sharing what you learned? That's almost more important right now than all the things that you've been doing up to this point. Because if you are not active, if they do not see you connecting with others, it's a signal that you may not be the right person for the role if we're talking about boards or for your next career role. So that is why I want to share with you why we picked LinkedIn, our destination this month. It's the month of June, and we are hosting a program at LinkedIn, not one, but two, because it is the destination of where everyone goes to find out about you. If you are thinking about how you can be in demand and gain a competitive advantage, you really need to know about your personal brand, how you're positioning yourself. And a lot of times we underestimate that learning component. In a world of AI, one of the top things that boards are faced right now is, how do we make decisions as it relates to AI, whether it's cybersecurity or how we are spending the money, how are people adapting to AI? That's the second piece of what we are looking at and why we're trying to help women really become not just fluent in understanding how to use it, but how are you as a leader taking the steps necessary to get visibility? And it all circles back to LinkedIn. Are you showing your expertise? It's one thing to use AI in your business, and it's another to share out in the world that you are understanding the importance and the impact that it is having on business. I hear a lot about, what is an AI agent? How can I use it in my business for entrepreneurs? A lot of the women in her C suite, and then also women that I talk to, and when I go to events and I'm speaking, those questions come up. Have you been wondering that? How do I talk about AI without feeling like an imposter? I used to feel that way too. I used to think that I had to have all the answers. And if I didn't, I couldn't say that I speak about AI. Here's the best part of this moment in time in your life. You don't have to have all the answers, especially as it comes to AI, because no one does. It changes every day. And the learning component that you need to be curious and apply goes hand in hand with landing a board role. One of the number one things that board directors have to do is research and staying current. And if you are doing that with learning AI and understanding AI, it gives you a competitive advantage. That's why I'm so excited about hosting our AI program, Build Your Next AI Agent, at LinkedIn Chicago, because these things are all intertwined. They all go together in your visibility and also being a curious learner. And the best part is, you don't have to know before you try something. You are learning right alongside other women. One of the things that I see so often is that when you're learning, If you aren't in community, you might be feeling alone, like you're isolated and you're not sure which path you should be taking. Should you be pursuing multiple paths? Does it feel like you're doing too many things? A lot of times, people, when they're at that crossroads, it really helps to have sounding boards. It really helps to know that you have trusted people in your group, in your sphere, that you can share what you're doing. I just did this the other day with one of my really great partners that I talk to often, Michelle Peacock. You've probably heard me talk about her on this show. I was describing to her a new big idea that I've been working on, and she brought this fresh perspective, and we were brainstorming and talking through and had a lot of breakthrough ideas that I wouldn't have if I was trying to do it on my own. And so, if you're thinking about the path that you're going to take, and are you ready? Am I going to be marketable? Am I able to share something of value? The answer is yes. You can do it, but you have to be doing it with intention. How do you get referred to opportunities? Well, are you referring others to opportunities? That's one of the best ways is to be of service first. As I was talking about earlier, some of the mistakes that I see of people sending a resume. I had this happen to me not that long ago where I got on a call. I didn't know the person very well. And immediately she's sending me her resume with no context, no cover letter. Here's my resume. And I really didn't know what to make of that. I wasn't sure what she was thinking I was going to do with the resume. And I didn't know what the need was, other than I knew that this person was looking for a position. Before you do any of that, having people that you can ask their opinion and then help them will open the door because they're going to remember and then offer to refer you. How you meet the right people starts both in person, online, and on LinkedIn. That's why I was so thrilled to be partnering with one of our members, Lori Davidson, at LinkedIn for our two programs this month, because that is where women are getting visibility. It is where AI knowledge or board conversations all are still happening in the most professional network that we have, which is LinkedIn. It is the place where businesses, leaders, entrepreneurs, board directors are all convening together. And so, learning these things, staying current, understanding is really important. When you think about your next chapter and which direction you want to go in, I want to reassure you that you don't have to go in just one way. The combination of intertwining all of the things that are interesting you and able to offer that as value to others will really differentiate you. The future of work for leaders is about looking forward, about being in demand, about how you can differentiate what you are planning. And the best way is to surround yourself with others that will level you up. I listen to podcasts, I attend webinars, I share ideas in settings that I find other people, men and women, that are a step ahead of me. That is one of the key things that really makes a big difference for you to gain traction and be able to build what's next. This month is an interesting experience for me. I will give you a little behind the scenes after answering kind of those questions of what are you looking for in terms of boards or your business. I myself have really dug deep because we are hosting 4 in person events. Now, in person events used to be my career. I used to do hundreds of in person events a month with the company that I worked at and my team. But this is the first time I am doing for her C suite 4 events. The best part of this is not going it alone. And so I am excited to share how I was able to manage that by doing what I call Collab 3, which is a signature framework that we just launched the day I'm recording this. And the idea is finding synergy with two other women to do something new within 90 days. And all of the things that I am doing this month, I am not doing alone. I have a team and I have amazing women that are doing it with me, from a book signing event that I'm doing with Jen Pastikas to hosting the event at LinkedIn and working in collaboration with Jennifer Clark and our speaker, Kate Smith. And then that same day, doing another collab with Bobby Carlton and Jen Wrigley. And then finally, doing the last program, which is in partnership with Naomi Kent. All of those programs I am not doing in silo by myself. If you are trying to figure out which direction you're going to go and how to navigate the next step, I want to encourage you to not do it alone. Find someone that can do it with you. If you're in our community, you can join the Collab 3 that we're about to launch at the end of this month. We've already done our initial kickoff, but there's still time to jump in. And if you're not in our community, we'd love to have you explore what this is. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn or check out the show notes and schedule time with me. Everything that we do here on this show is designed to help you on your path, to help you navigate what's next, to help you know that you're not alone, that there are a lot of women that are in the same situation, that are asking the same questions that you are. And together, we can build a future where we're collaborating and creating a beautiful new ecosystem where women are hiring each other, doing business, referring. That's my dream, and I hope you share it with me. And I want you to always know that you are valued, you matter. Keep shining your light bright. The world needs you. Hey, it's Natalie, and I wanted to share two big things that we have coming up. First, you heard me talk about the LinkedIn events. Check out our events page to find out more about how we are connecting and doing two programs at LinkedIn this month in Chicago. And I am also looking to collaborate. If you want to collaborate with me, will you reach out to me, check out the show notes, and let's connect.